The Infinix GT 30 Pro is basically one of the best mid-range gaming smartphones to come out of 2025. I believe that mainly because you get those ultra features we usually get on expensive gaming smartphones, but this time you're getting all that for $300. So let's get through this review and see if this smartphone is really worth buying. Looking at the design, all I have to say is that the phone looks the part. And another thing to acknowledge is that this phone comes with pressure sensitive gaming triggers, which we only used to see on the Red Magic lineup, which means that you can program these triggers onto any button on your gaming profile, as you can see right now on PUBG. So that's a huge improvement from last year. This smartphone also comes in 3 colorways, but these 2 are the only ones that could be found on the website. Now let's look at the unboxing experience. First off, all I have to say is you get everything that you need to operate this smartphone, of course, except for the cooling fan that you have to buy on its own. Otherwise, the charging brick is there and everything is all set. As I have said, this smartphone obviously looks the part and it's definitely a beautiful gaming smartphone. We also got IP54 dust and splash resistant rating on this smartphone, so you can go with it screaming, but don't. Another cherry on top is obviously the RGB glyphs at the back of the smartphone, which can obviously be tweaked for call notifications and other notifications as well. We also get stereo speakers tuned by JBL and no headphone jack, which really isn't a problem in my opinion. So in terms of design and build quality, I think this smartphone knows what it's doing. In the display section, we are obviously gonna get impressed with a 6.78-inch AMOLED panel, which has a refresh rate of all the way up to 120 Hz. The peak brightness is actually 4500 nits, which is good if you're going to be using it in direct sunlight. This smartphone also has 89.4% screen to body ratio, which means that pain of that huge bezel isn't really a problem on the Infinix GT 30 Pro. I think so far in the display section, all you have to do is to be impressed. Now let's move on to the software and performance, where we are getting XOS 15 paired with Android 15 on this smartphone. You also get 2 years of Android updates and up to 3 years of security patches, which is really a good idea on this smartphone. AI features, all I'm going to say about that is that there are a lot of AI features and I'm not gonna get through them. You can transcribe your calls, you can expand images, and you also got an AI assistant which is known as Infinix AI. We also get the MediaTek Dimensity 8350 Ultimate chipset, which has impressive benchmark scores, and this chipset really outperforms most phones within its price range. As you can see right now with the GT 30 Pro, H60 Fusion and the Phone 3a, everything is peachy. In terms of gaming performance, you can still play in ultra graphics and ultra FPS, and this smartphone still competes with many smartphones within its price range. So in terms of performance and gaming, nothing has to be said. As a gaming smartphone, we all know a good battery is essential. You get 5500 mAh battery, charges at 45 watts wired charging, 30 watts wireless charging, and 10 watts reverse wired charging, and 5 watts reverse wireless charging. With a 5500 mAh battery, I think there really isn't any problem of you playing games throughout the whole day, and the charging speeds are also fast, so there are no problems here. Now let's talk about that one thing that nobody really cares about on a gaming smartphone. You get a 108 megapixel wide lens and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. You can shoot videos at 4K at 30 to 60 frames per second, 1080p at 30 up to 240 frames per second, and the selfie camera is a 13 megapixel camera which shoots at 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 30 frames per second, and I think already you can see that it does moderately well. So I think that's the end of my review. So thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe to the channel.